Hello and welcome class 12th students. Today we will discuss the second topic of lesson number 5, organizing. Okay, the steps in the process of organizing. Okay, or you can say that we are discussing the process of organizing. Okay, this process is very simple, only 4 steps are there. Okay, starting from identification and division of work. Okay, this is the first step. Then second step is departmentalization or departmentation. Both the term can be used. Okay. Then third is assignment of duties, and then fourth is establishing okay. Fourth step is establishing reporting relationship, right? So only these 4 steps we have to consider for organizing process, right? So we will start by explaining identification and division of work. Okay. So as far as identification and division of work is concerned, the first step in the process of organizing is to follow a plan and identify the work to be done. Okay. Thereafter, the work must be divided into smaller and manageable activities to avoid duplication and share the burden among employees, right? You can take example in the case which we have discussed in the previous lecture, your own case where you have your own targets for class 10th board. Okay, so we are taking that example only. So in that case, the teacher should have assigned the responsibility of boards to one group, okay, library maintenance to another, and the collection of notebooks to the third group. Okay, so that means what he has done basically, he has followed the plan. If we are organizing or managing the class, if the teacher is managing the class, okay, so how he is managing, how he is organizing different activities. So what he is doing, he is having a plan, he is identifying the work to be done. Work is number 1 to handle the board, okay, or activities relating to the library, or activities related to collection of notebooks. Okay, so what he has done, he was having a plan in his mind, he identified the work, and then he divided the work into smaller and manageable activities. so that duplication of work can be avoided and share the burden among the people. Okay, so this is what is identification and division of work. Okay, so let me write all these 3 key points so that you can have a ready reckoner for that, right? Right, so these are the key points to understand identification and division of work. The first step, okay, step number 1 in the process of organizing, that to follow a plan and identify the work to be done, the work must be divided into smaller and manageable activities to avoid duplication and to share the burden among employees, right? This is what is the first step. Okay, second step is assignment of duties, right? So assignment of duties, simple meaning that after making or identifying different work, dividing them into smaller tasks, now it is the time, second step is departmentalization. Or departmentation. Right, departmentalization or departmentation. So after identifying different works and dividing them into smaller and manageable activities, now it is the time to group them into similar nature tasks. Okay, that means to make departments of those activities which are similar in nature. Okay, how that departmentalization means selecting the activities which are similar in nature and grouping them together. Okay, the group of activities facilitates specialization. Like in commerce you are having, like in a school we are having many subjects, okay, or many subject teachers. Okay, so we are having English, we are having mathematics, okay, we are having physics, chemistry, accountancy, business studies, economics, biology. Okay, so what to make department means to segregate them as per the task, as per this nature of activities. So for making commerce department or for making science department, how the schools used to act, they used to separate the activities, separate the subject and the teachers. Okay, for science group, physics, chemistry, bio, mathematics, and one common subject, English, one group of activities. Then another group of activities for commerce, so accountancy, business studies, economics, okay, English, mathematics, okay, and other required subjects like physical education, entrepreneurship, okay, information practices, computer science, or other subjects which are in the school streams. So we used to segregate them. In any of the organization, school is also one of the organization, okay, not profit making but organization. Okay, so in any of the organization they used to make the department as per the nature and similarity of work. So they used to make them a separate group. So what will happen? What is the importance of grouping the activities into one department? So what I am saying, that grouping of activities facilitates specialization, right? So with the grouping of activities, specialization will come when we will perform those activities in a repeated manner. So automatically the specialization or expertise will come. Okay, so you can take the examples of any of the organization which is engaged in manufacturing business, right? So the activities can be grouped on the basis of functions like production, marketing, finance, warehousing, administration, purchase, etc. Okay. If an organization has a product line, then activities can be grouped on the basis of product, like shoe division or footwear division, garment division, okay, telecom division, petrochemical. So they are having separate departments or product as per the product lines. If the organization is working in different areas in the same country, so zonal division can be done. Okay, departmentation or departmentalization can be done on the basis of zone or area of market. Okay, like they can group on the basis of region or territory, like north zone, west zone, south zone, east zone, like this, right? So this is what is departmentation is concerned. Okay, so let me write some of the key points for you one by one so that you can understand. Right? So departmentation or departmentalization can be done on the basis of functions like product, finance, marketing, on the basis of territory, east, west, north, south, okay, on the basis of product line, footwear, garment, etc. If the organization dealing in diversified products, okay, and then the meaning of departmentation is selecting the activities which are similar in nature and grouping them together. The grouping of activity facilitates specialization, right? So this is what is departmentation is all about. Please note down. Okay, then we are discussing the step number 3, right? Now step number 3 is assignment of duties. Okay, very simple to understand. After identification and division of work, you have segregated them, okay, on the nature of their similarity of activities. So you have made departments. Now you are filling the position by assigning the duties to the people working on those positions in the organization. So once the work is divided, departmentalized, okay, then follows the allocation of responsibility, giving responsibility to the people working. So people are employed in each department, right? And work is allocated depending on the competencies, okay, and skills of employees, right? So it is very important that effective implementation of plan, the work is assigned to such people who possesses essential abilities and skills to perform their jobs with maximum efficiency, right? So assignment of duties must be on the basis of their capabilities, okay, that means competencies and skills. According to the competencies and skills, responsibility should be allocated so that maximum efficiency can be expected from the employees, right? So I am making 2-3 key points, you will understand, right? So now after you have made the departments on the basis of similarity of task, okay, or nature of activities, now it is the time to allocate the responsibility. Duty or responsibility means the same, okay. Allocation of responsibility to the people is done in the next step, and then work, duty or responsibility is allocated on the basis of skills and competencies of employees, okay, for what they are competent for, okay, and what are they are skilled in doing those activities. Accordingly the duty is to be allocated, okay. Lesser capability or skills, more responsibility will not be converted into efficiency, okay. Wastage of resources will be done, Okay, so to avoid wastage of resources, it is expected to give responsibility as per the skills and competencies of the employees. Okay, suppose I am expert in delivering business studies content. Okay, so I should not be given the responsibility to teach physics. Okay, because I am not competent to teach it. Okay, so in every type of organization, in every organization, according to the skills and capabilities of the employees, the duty should be allocated. Okay, so that maximum efficiency can be expected from them. Right? Now, the step number 4 and the last step, that is establishing reporting relationships. Right? So after this, establishing reporting relationship. Now you have established, you have identified in the first step, you have identified the work, that these are the activities. Okay, in the second step you have separated them on the basis of similarity of their activities. Okay, similarity of their nature. You have grouped them into different departments. Okay, in the third step you have assigned the duties to different individuals on the basis of their skill and competency. Now you have to establish the reporting relationship. Reporting relationship means establishing the relationship among the employees, formal relationship among the employees. Okay, now there is one question to think, that what is the relation among the people in the organization, among themselves. Okay, so the answer must be that either they may be the colleagues of each other, that means they are working parallelly on the similar positions in different departments maybe. Okay, or maybe they are somebody's junior or they are somebody's senior. Okay, so this is what is the relationship or formal relationship among the employees in the organization. So if there are too many people working in a group, it is essential for group members to know from whom they have to take orders and to whom they are accountable. Accountable means answerable. Okay, from where they have to take the orders and instructions and to whom they have to report. That means after finishing the task, to whom they have to submit the results. Okay, or they are answerable to whom. Okay, so the clarity defines the relationship. Okay, or clarity in relationship among the employees helps to create a hierarchical structure. Hierarchical means top to bottom structure. Okay, higher to lower structure, and facilitates coordination. Okay, bonding, synchronization of or harmonious relation, organization relation amongst different departments. Okay, so establishing, or in simple language if you want to understand, then to establish superior subordinate and colleague relationship, formal relationship establishment is called establishing reporting relationship. Okay, like in a school, the teachers working in a department must know that they have to take instruction from the and report to the head of the department. Okay, the head of department must know that he will take instruction from the vice principal or the principal. Okay, so the heads of different departments can discuss collectively about the overall development of the school. Right? So like in any of the organization, like I'm making one diagram for you. Okay, if we are discussing these levels, top, middle and supervisory, okay, so or like this you can make, like managing director is there, then they are having the subordinate of production, finance, marketing, HR. Under them there are 2 or 3 people working. Okay, like this. So they are the departmental heads. Okay, you can say head of different departments, HODs. Okay, this is the head of the institution or the organization, and these are the supervisory level staff. Okay, so top, middle and supervisory level. Okay, like this reporting relationship should be established, that he is the super superior, then he is the subordinate of super superior, he is the superior of super subordinate, and he is the subordinate of this superior. Okay, so junior senior, we don't use these words junior senior in the management. We use senior, superior and subordinate. So the what type of relationship employees used to have in the organization? So they are having superior subordinate relationship, right? So let me make 2-3 points so that you can understand it properly. Okay. So what we have discussed under this, so if there are too many people working in an organization, it is essential for group members to know from whom they have to take orders from. Okay, it is essential for group members, you write, group members to know from whom they have to take orders or instructions, and for whom they are accountable, means answering, right? So this is one thing. Secondly, we have discussed that this clarity defines the relationship among the hierarchy of the organization and facilitates coordination. So helps in coordination and you can take this clarity. Okay, so this clarity helps in coordination and hierarchical structure in the organization and among the employees. Okay, superior, subordinate, relationship, right? So this is what is about the establishing reporting relationship. It is essential for group members to know from whom they have to take orders or instruction and for whom they are accountable, that means answerable, right? And then this clarity, if they are clear about this relationship, then this clarity will help them in establishing coordination among different departments, among different people, okay, among themselves, and to create hierarchical structure in the organization and among the employees. So what type of relationship they are having? Superior subordinate relationship. Okay, so these are the key points relating to the steps in the process of staff organizing, right? So I hope I'm clear on all this particular topic, steps in the process of organizing. Very important topic from board point of view. Okay, listen it very carefully. Okay, note it down, listen the lecture once again. Okay, and even if you are having any of the problem, you can easily write your comments in the comment box. You can send me a WhatsApp, you can give me a mail, so that I can solve your queries and doubts, right? Till then, take care, goodbye, thank you very much.